Okay. All right. Okay. There are a few more minutes for the rest of our families to join us. I feel honored so many people are joining the meeting. Okay. I'll give it a minute or two and then I'll begin. I see a lot of returning faces. A lot of returning families. And a lot of new families. Okay, so I'd like to welcome everyone to our first meet and greet for the Kindergarten Center. As you know, registration was very different this year. I appreciate all of you making an effort to bring your documents into the registrar, dropping everything off in a timely manner. And Mrs. Michelini was able to get, she's getting everyone to Tower School into the system, and hopefully able to communicate via our school system as soon as everyone's in and we're able to upload all emails and all accounts. For my new families, a really big welcome to the KC, and the same for all of my returning families. As you know, this has been a very different year for us. Many of us have been through a lot this past year. My thoughts and prayers with everyone with COVID, who have had COVID, who have lost someone with COVID. There's a lot that we had to deal with. As you know, we had a very successful school year so far at the KC. We've been open every day. We haven't closed. We've had very few cases, and we are moving along. We are trying to do everything that we possibly could to make every day very special for the children. If you, have children in other buildings, there's lots of procedures, there's lots of protocols that were put in place this year. If you want to see from my new families that are not in the district yet, if you want to go on the Linbrook website, you could see the opening plan for school this year pertaining to COVID. I could give you a little description of what the KC looks like now, but I cannot tell you what it's going to look like in September. As you know, the CDC and the Department of Health change the rules every other day. Things are changing. We have every classroom in the building is being utilized. We have anywhere right now from 13 to 19 children in a classroom, depending upon the classroom size. Our desks are currently 4.5 by 5 feet apart. They have polycarbonate dividers on them. And our lunchroom and our QR is used for lunch. Those desks are 6 feet apart, and there's no polycarbonate dividers on them. So our building, which once had tables in the classroom, every child has their own desk. And every child in the kindergarten center, thanks to the Parents Club, they purchased white bins for them. And in the bin, they keep their backpack and their coat. So this is how the KC is set up right now. The children love it. They know no difference. They come in with bright smiles on their faces behind the mask. They come in off the bus, they come in out of their cars, and they have the best day ever. They love being in the building, and we love having them in the building. I want to go over a few things with you about the kindergarten. This past year, our students that are in the building this year, we didn't have a formal screening the spring prior because of COVID. We did a screening when they entered the kindergarten center. So making up the classes it was a little difficult for us, but we did it, and it was successful. This year we are having a screening. We're having a screening outdoors in the field, the KC field. If you're familiar with our building, we have a tremendous field, and we're going to use the field for the screening. We have pitch tents that we're going to put up, and we're going to have tables set up under the tents, and the KC staff, like they would do the screening in the gym, they're going to be doing it outside. The only thing is we're going to do it over a longer period of time because we have to spread everyone out. So we are going to begin the screening the week of May 10th. It's going to be that entire week. And then we're going to tack on the following Monday and Tuesday as makeup dates. So hopefully this Friday or Monday, I will send out my letters to everyone. You will get a letter with an appointment. The screening should last about 1 hour. We use the dial for our screening, and we're going to have you stay. We'll have chairs for you set up outside, and you'll fill out the parent questionnaire. I'll be out there. You could ask me questions. Everyone will be socially distanced. We're going to ask you in the letter to send your child in with comfortable clothing, sneakers, and a mask. We also sent you in the envelope 2 COVID forms. They're called zip slip forms. It's a COVID questionnaire that we need you to fill out the morning that you come, pertaining to yourself and your child, and bring those forms with you. And we just collect those forms. So that's our screening. And the screening is for everyone, every child that's entering the kindergarten center. And for some reason, if you're not able to make it the first week, that week of May 10th, we have the following Monday and Tuesday as makeup dates. Our kindergarten center is open every day, Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 2:30. We do not have a before school program. We have an after school program. For the first time ever, this year, the Right at School is at the kindergarten center, and it's been a real success for us. The children do not have to travel to their home school for the after school program. They stay at the building after school. There's a certain location they go to, and everything is arranged through the Right at School. Now, if you are interested in the Right at School, I could give you some info now, and you could contact them. It's the Right at School, RIGHTATSCHOOL.com. Their phone number is 855-287-2466. You could contact them. You could let them know that you're interested in applying for the program, because there will be a cap. Right now at the kindergarten center, we're only allowed to have 20 children. We have 10 in the QR and we have 10 in the gym. They feel next year the number will go up, probably because the different protocols will be changed. But right now they're able to have 20 children at the kindergarten center. And their hours are from 2:30 at the end of our school day, and The last pickup, I think, is they're 6:30. I don't know if those are going to be the 6 hours for next year, but those are the hours they have this year. So it's from 2:30 to 6:30. And the kids love it. You know, the children that stay, they do different activities, they do their homework, they have a snack, so they have a good time. So that's the Right at School program. And as I said, we do not have a morning drop-off. With COVID this year, we started our day a little differently. We used to have arrival from, the buses would arrive around 8:20, and by 8:30, we would enter the building. This year, we have it a little different. We started off with arrival from 8:30 to 9 o'clock because of COVID. And then a few months ago, it changed from 8:30 to 8:45. We have a 15-minute window for you to bring your child to school. There's 2 different ways you could bring your child to school. First way is letting them go on the bus. Everyone is entitled to the bus. You could live across the street from the building. Every kindergarten student gets bused to school. So you could send your child to school on the bus. They're going to be assigned a bus stop. The bus stop is your stop 5 days a week, in the morning and in the afternoon. They no longer use the home schools as bus stops because of COVID, because of cross-contamination. So we don't have the home schools as bus stops anymore. If you decide to not use the bus, that's fine. You can use the bus one way if you want. In the morning, we have a valet drop-off where you actually drive your car through the Atlantic Avenue entrance. You drive right in through the parking lot at 8:30, and I have staff members outside that greet your child. I am not sure of the hours for next year. We may go back to our normal 8:20 drop-off to 8:30. It depends upon what's going on with COVID. But right now, the children come in between 8:30 and 8:45. 8:45, our doors close, and the children come in. I would say that next year, we're still going to have our zip slip. Our zip slip is what you're receiving in the mail, a paper copy. You will actually be able to fill that out online next year for your child. So every morning by 8:20, every child has to have a slip filled out. And we print a report, and I have a staff member outside the front door, and I have a staff member in the back by the courtyard where the buses come in. And they mark off every child coming into the building if the zip slip is filled out. If the zip slip is not filled out, we take their temperature and we contact you to find out why it wasn't filled out. So I would think that we're going to have the same procedures next year with the zip slip. If for some reason we don't, I don't know, but I think that's something that's still going to be implemented next year. So you could either drop your child off in the front of the building as a valet drop off, or you could send your child by bus. This past year, for my returning parents, you remember riding the bus with your child. This past year, we did not have that. We did not have that because of COVID. Normally we would have 4 buses. We have 8 buses this year because we could have only a fewer children I think we have between 8 and 12 children on a bus, or maybe 14 children on a bus. They're 1 child per seat. So therefore, I had to have more buses. So I have every color rainbow, plus I have a rainbow bus. So we have a lot of buses that are coming to school in the morning, and we have a lot of buses leaving the building in the afternoon. Every child's backpack is labeled the first day of school. They're labeled what bus they're on. If they're on a bus, they get a colored bus. They even have an assigned seat this year on the bus because we have to make sure that children are getting on and not passing one another. We also have a label for children that go to the after-school program, a little schoolhouse. And our children that are walkers every day, we don't label their backpacks because we know every day they're walkers. We have a very organized dismissal procedure at the KC. We dismiss 4 buses from the gym, and we dismiss 4 buses from the QR. Our children line up by color bus and they line up by their seat number. Our walkers are also dismissed from the gym. They sit in the gym for dismissal. And our after-school children line up in the gym as well. So we're very organized. We have staff members in front of each bus line and in the back of the bus line. And the walkers get dismissed last from the gym, from the QR. Everyone, 4 buses from the QR, walkers from the QR, and 4 buses from the gym. That's how we dismiss the children. I will get further into our procedures for letting us know if you're changing your form of transportation, but we do request that you put everything in writing. If for some reason you have a doctor's appointment one day and you have to pick your child up early, if you could please write a note, let us know your child's not going on the bus. We will never listen to your child and have them tell us that they're a walker. If we don't hear from you in writing, we cannot listen to a 5-year-old tell us that they have to, they're going to be picked up by you. So anything you change should be in writing and sent to the classroom teacher. We have our morning notice pickup. Every classroom teacher puts their notices on the door. We have a monitor that comes around to collect everything. It's very organized. We also have a school nurse at the KC. Our school nurse oversees the health and well-being of all your children. This year was a little different. We had to move our nurse into a larger room, and we have a quarantine room attached to her office. Hopefully next year she'll be able to move back into her existing office. All medical notes, everything, whenever your child is absent, you have to send in a note as to why they're absent. The teachers collect those notes and they're kept. Everyone's attendance is taken on a daily basis. All of your attendance is sent into Power School, and in Power School, everything is logged. All of that information is stored. It's a student data system. So it's very important for you to send your child to school because attendance you're accounted for. Your child's attendance is accounted for, and everything gets reported to the state. So we really like your children to be in school. I'm sorry. We have a parents club at the KC, not a PTA because we're a 1-year building. I'm sorry, I'm choking. The Parents Club is a representation of all 3 elementary schools. For our new families, we have 3 elementary schools in the district. We have Marion Street, West End, and Waverly Park. And those 3 elementary schools, we have 1 liaison from each elementary school that receives certain committees from the Parents Club. So 1 liaison may oversee graduation, the book club, special assemblies. 1 liaison may oversee fundraising, and 1 liaison may oversee another area, but we ask for chair people. So when you come in for the screening in a few weeks, we're going to be handing out a volunteer form to you. And you're going to fill the volunteer form out. You're going to give us as much information as you possibly can on what you want to get involved in. We cannot guarantee that we're going to have everything next year. This year was very different, very different. We normally have special lunch sales, we have pretzel sales, we have fruit cart. None of that happened this year. All of that didn't occur because of COVID. So let's hope and pray things get better and we could start bringing things back to our building. We love to see all of you come into the building. We love to see you volunteer to be part of something. This year, no one was allowed in the building. Even if you come to pick up your child, we bring your child to you at the door, at the front door. So we hope and pray things will be a lot better for next year. We'll be able to have you in the building, participating, doing different activities with the kids. We even had to have our picture day outside this year. So things are very different. I have Mrs. Hakeem, Mrs. Rivolo, Mrs. Callenthorpe on the screen if you guys want to wave. Is there anything you want to share or say? Go ahead. You could unmute yourself. Where is she? Okay, there's a lock on your mics. Nope, I unmuted you.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Okay. You're unmuted. Go for it.
Awesome.
Hi, guys.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go
I can
first.
say hi. Okay, you could go first.
Okay. I'm Charmaine. I'm the current Casey liaison from Marion Street. And the only thing I want to add is to be on the lookout this summer for a Facebook group that's going to be created by the incoming liaisons. The group is going to be called Linbrook Class of 2034, and it'll most likely be set up sometime late June or early July.
Okay. Anything else?
Marissa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, guys. My name is Marissa. I'll tell you really quick. I have 3 boys in kindergarten, in Linbrook schools, 1 in 4th, 1 in 3rd, and my little one in kindergarten. And just hi and welcome. Like Ms. Postman said, it was very different from the years past, but firsthand being involved, I saw all the fun things that we did do. So that was a really good thing that I was involved in, that you guys could have the opportunity to do as well. And we'll be around. Our names will be floating around on paper. So you can email us, call us if you guys have any questions. We could definitely help you transition.
Definitely. I'm
and the
Erica
supply
Ravollo
list-
from West End. Oh, I'm sorry, Marissa.
No, sorry. I just wanted to quickly say we do have a supply list that is complete that will be coming out. You'll see it on that website on Facebook that was just mentioned, and we'll be floating around in the mailing, so you'll get that soon.
And I'm Erica Ravollo, the liaison from West End. And also Marissa and I are also looking for liaisons actually from our home schools. So if anybody is interested in stepping into our roles, it is so fabulous. We are so excited. The kindergarten center is absolutely like the Disney World of schools. Everybody is loving and nurturing. It's a great place to be a part of. And honestly, when you volunteer here, hopefully we'll have more opportunities this coming year. It is just, it's an amazing place to be, and be able to see your kids blossoming into, you know, these little humans and people, and becoming just the best self that they can be. And it's a really, really amazing thing to be a part of. So if anyone wants to reach out to us, we would love to talk you through it. And we're going to be here to help you also through it, because we had to rewrite the book this year. So
Yeah.
we're happy to help. And
Yeah.
Mrs. Postman is just head and shoulders above all the rest. So you're in good hands across the board.
Thank you, thank you. Lauren Pagan is looking for Waverly Park, possibly Mrs. Callenthroff, so if you want to write that name down. Okay, thank you so much, thank you. You know, in the past, as I said, we had parents in the building constantly coming in to volunteer, coming in to distribute flyers. We've cut down on a lot of paper this year, let me tell you. We send everything out through our student system, where you'll get emails and text messages from us. The Parents Club has a Facebook page. They also send out every weekend a MailChimp weekly newsletter update through MailChimp. I send out a newsletter on Fridays to everyone. You get a lot of information. I try not to send out too much information because I don't want to overwhelm you with text messages and emails. but when it comes to important stuff, I do say a few things. Okay. I know some people are asking questions. The after-school program, just so you know, is in all buildings. It's at Marion Street, West End, and Waverly Park. It was never at the kindergarten center until this past year. And it's worked out so well for us that we're going to have it again next year. And the children won't have to travel to their home schools. So it is at all the schools. The only thing is, at Waverly, Marion Street, and West End, it doesn't start till 3 o'clock when their school day ends. Ours starts at 2:30. We also have, people were asking me about how many children are registered for kindergarten. Right now, I have about 170 children registered for kindergarten, but that could change. We have people registering every day, dropping packets off. As you know, the real estate market right now is pretty good. It's a lot going on. People are selling their homes, people are buying homes, people are moving in. So that number can change. I don't know how many children will be assigned to each class. We have to see what the CDC and Department of Health guidelines are for next year. It's a matter of what we are told, how many children we could have in the classroom upon how much spacing between the desks. So I can't tell you exactly how many children are going to be in a class, because as I said before, we have some classes this year that have 13 children, and I have a class that has 18 and we'll have 19 because we opened up our remote children to come back into the building for a second time, and I have 8 children returning again on Monday. So every classroom is a different size. Depending upon what the CDC and Department of Health guidelines are, we won't be able to determine that until we're told. Right now, my gym is being used as our lunchroom. So a typical day at school, pre-COVID, the children would have 3 specials: music, art, and phys ed. Music and phys ed was always out of the classroom. Art is pushed into the classroom. This year, art is pushed into the classroom. Phys ed is pushed into the classroom unless the weather's nice. If the weather's nice, they're outside on the field or in the playground. And music was in the classroom. But now they're going to the QR for music. So at least they're leaving the classroom a second time for music, which is nice. They do art, music, and phys ed once in a 6-day cycle. That entire schedule is given to you at back to school night. So you'll have all of that when you meet your classroom teacher in September. The children do eat lunch in school. They have a snack in school. They normally have a morning snack. This year, because of COVID, they get their mask break and their snack at the same time. So they leave their classroom for snack. They're not allowed to eat in their classroom because the desks are not 6 feet apart. So they leave their classroom for snack. We have a schedule where the QR in the gym is used. But now that the weather's nice, the classroom teachers go outside and they have snack outside in the courtyard or in the playground. So they'll go outside, have their mask break, have snack. The children bring water bottles with them or thermoses. We have water coolers now throughout the building, which is great. Beautiful, beautiful water coolers. So your children get nice ice cold water and they can refill their water bottles. They refill them at snack time, they refill them at lunchtime, they refill them all the time. Then we have lunch. In the past, we would sell special lunches once a week through the Parents Club, but this year we're not. So every child has to bring their lunch to school. What we ask you is we do sell milk. So you could purchase milk for your child if you would like. You could purchase milk for your child by the month. So we sell it monthly. And we advise you just to purchase it if you know your child's going to drink it, because if not, it just gets thrown out. And then you send lunch with your child. So you send a separate snack and a separate lunch with a snack and a drink for them. They don't share food. We are not a peanut-free building or peanut-free district. In our past life, we used to have a peanut butter table where all the children who bought in peanut butter and peanut butter products would sit at that table. Now we have a peanut butter section in the gym because the children are eating at desks. So we have like 2 rows of tables set aside for the children that have peanut butter or peanut butter products. They sit there. Otherwise, they sit at a desk with their class. This year, the children have semi-assigned seats at lunchtime. Because of COVID, and God forbid I have to do contact tracing, I have every single chair numbered. I have every single chair numbered. So if I have to do any contact tracing, I can know where Johnny sat at lunchtime because the teachers and the monitors keep a chart and they put their name next to the number so we know who's sitting at what seat at lunchtime. Hopefully we won't have to do that for much longer. I already shared about snack, lunch, and mass breaks. Every classroom has a bathroom, just so you know, every classroom has a bathroom. And we have bathrooms in the gym, and we have bathrooms in the QR for lunchtime. And I also shared with you that the classrooms right now will look the same. Nothing, I don't think the classrooms will change for next year the way we have the desks. I don't think we're going to be going back to tables next year. We have tons and tons and tons of hand sanitizer, masks, wipes. We have everything. We have a full-time custodial staff on duty that are stationed in the lunchroom, and in between each lunch period, we have 2 lunch periods. They clean the tables off for us. They clean the tables off for us between snack. When the classes come down, they're constantly walking around, cleaning the outdoor knobs, our handrails. They're constantly throughout the building. They're phenomenal. They work really hard. Every classroom gets thoroughly cleaned at the end of the day. It gets, they call it a bomb. It goes off to clean all the bacteria every day. It happens at the end of the day. We really ask that the children do not share any materials. The school supplies that they bring in will be put into their desk. Those school supplies will be used. When they run out, you will be asked to send in new school supplies. The art teacher has ordered her own separate art supplies that she gives the children. They keep in their desk. Anything extra, she would write a note home to you to send in for the children. We really have not been using gym equipment outside. We haven't been using the balls, and we don't, because we can't have people touching things. The playground is used, it's wiped down. Our custodial staff is outside in between classes, wiping down all of the equipment. So that's my overview of what life is like at the KC right now. But as I could say to you right now, from the bottom of my heart, the children are having the best time ever. And the staff is so happy to be in school and to be with the children. So I just want to let you know that. And I think my 3 liaisons could speak of that as well, that, the children are happy to be in school. My remote children are so excited. We do try to bring in the remote children with the in-person children for assemblies, different activities. They, I see them on the computer. They get very excited. I'm able to have one of my remote teachers is actually housed in our building. So I see her every day. I speak to both remote teachers every day. We do not have a situation where, let's say, God forbid, a child has to be quarantined. They're home and they have to be quarantined. They cannot stream into the classroom. At this time, we don't have that. I did have situations where teachers had to be quarantined and they were able to stream in and teach the class from home. And I had a TA in the room over watching with the children. But we haven't had it where the children are home streaming into the classroom. I don't know what's going to happen next year. We've begun discussions about what it's going to look like, what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to have any remote classes next year. We haven't been given any guidance yet from the state. So all of that is still questionable. So I'm going to ask you, I know you probably have questions about that. If you want to open that discussion now, or let me go through the questions that I received by email, and then we could discuss any concerns you have with everything else going on in the world. Is that okay? All right? Okay. Okay. Our first day of school, as of now, just so you know, is going to be Thursday, September 9th. It's very late this year. We are closed because we have Rosh Hashanah and Labor Day back to back. So our first day of school is Thursday, September 9th, just so you have that as an FYI. I am recording this, so as you know, it'll be posted on the kindergarten website. To get onto the kindergarten website, you go on linbrookschools.org. You're going to click on schools, and then you're going to click on kindergarten center, and then you're going to see it. It'll pop up. It'll probably take a few days for it to get, because I have to go through technology, and the person that does this will be out the next day or two. So it'll be up within the next few days for you. I have some questions. The parents asked, will the children be wearing masks? Yes. I don't think masks are going away next year. Every child has to wear a mask. They have to wear a mask when they enter the building. They have to wear a mask at the bus stop. They have to wear a mask on the bus. It's very important. We do have masks at the KC. We have tons and tons of children's paper masks that we have available. If God forbid they drop their mask, it goes in the toilet. We've had that plenty of times. It'll fall into the sink. So we have lots of masks. The class sizes, as I said, this year it was anywhere from started out as 12 to 17. Now it's up to 13 to 19, depending on the size of the classroom. On a normal year of our normal life at the KC, I've had anywhere from, let's say, 17, 18 to 22 in the classroom. The students will not be eating in that classroom. They eat in the lunchroom, which is our gym, and the QR. We do not have any protocols in place for testing this year. So we did not have any agency or hospital come to the school district and test children or test the staff. Anyone that wanted that had to get tested privately on their own. How would we determine if a class goes remote? Depending upon what the guidelines are from the CDC and the Department of Health, how many children have to be sick in the classroom or exposed. Things could change, you know, things could change overnight. As you know, guidelines have changed. They went from 5 feet apart. We were able to go to 3.5 by 4. I mean, by 4.5 by 5. Then now they're talking about 3 feet apart. So who knows what could happen over the summer and what differences that could occur. The after school program we have, and it's there is a gym class. As I said, we have gym. We have a phys ed teacher, Mr. Berlin. He comes to the KC every morning and he teaches his gym class. Gym is 40 minutes, art is 40 minutes, and music is 30 minutes for the children at the KC. Okay. We went over the after school program. If you need a before school program, we don't have one, but there's one church in the area, Tiny Tykes. It's housed in the church that's across the street from the funeral home on Peninsula Boulevard and Hempstead, Flinch and Burns. There's a church across the street, and they have a before school program called Tiny Tykes. So if anyone was interested, they could send their child there. And just so you know, in Tiny Tykes, we have a bus stop there. So the bus will go there in the morning and pick your child up and bring them to school. All right. We have, at the KC, we have a psychologist and we have a social worker. Our social worker is the one that works one-on-one, really. She works with the children, so is the psychologist, but the social worker pushes into the classrooms, every classroom, and she conducts social emotional learning activities and lessons with the children. We normally set up our themes at the beginning of the year of how we want to, what we want to teach the children and bring into the classroom. If there's some type of emergency or situation going on in the building, and we feel that maybe something would pertain to a specific class, we may alter that lesson. Our social worker is Mrs. Carol Ware. We share her with Waverly Park, and she's at the KC, and she is the one that pushes into the room for all of our social emotional learning lessons. Also, the classroom teachers work on different subject areas with the children pertaining to anti-bullying or any type of situation that may pop up in the classroom. We use Second Step. We use pieces of Second Step in the classroom when it comes to our lessons for our social emotional learning. And most of our services, if your child's receiving speech, OT and PT, they're pull-out services, meaning the providers come, get the children from the classroom and bring them to their classroom area. So OT, PT, and speech are pull-out services for us. And attendance is taken by those service providers, and it's kept logged by them as well. Okay. Okay. Now, hi. Okay. Now I know people are popping up with questions, so maybe we want to just do one at a time. You can start asking me questions. By busing, I just want to go over one thing. When you have a bus stop, that's your bus stop 5 days a week. We cannot alter where a child goes on a play date one day and gets off the bus with somebody else. Your bus stop is your stop 5 days a week, every day. That's very important for our safety. When you registered, you filled out a transportation form. And that transportation form, you put in everyone you know that will get your child off the bus. If you're going to be adding a person, we need you to put it in writing, because we cannot let Mrs. Smith, who's not on Mrs. Jones's sheet, pick up Johnny off the bus unless Mrs. Smith's name is on that sheet. Every sheet is given to all the matrons, get a stack of sheets for their bus. They know exactly who these people are. They introduce themselves to them. We get to know everyone. Everyone that we're giving the child to, we know who they are. It's very, very important for us. Okay. I saw a question pop up about curriculum. Right now we use TC for Readers and Writers Workshop. We use Eureka Math. We have a BOCE Science program, and we use the BOCE Social Studies program. So that's a typical day at the KC is arrival, the pledge, and we've done the pledge outside every single day, but not this year. They come into school, they have their morning meeting. They either do ELA, math, science, social studies, depending upon their schedule. They might have a special, they might have phys ed, they might have art. They go on a mask break, snack, they have lunch, and then they do something in the afternoon. They may have writers workshop in the afternoon, math, or a special. So that's our day. We also like to get outside when the weather's nice. Recess is outside. 29 degrees and above, they get to go outside. So come winter time, make sure you dress them warm, because we like to get outside. We go to the playground, we go to the field. Right now with COVID, we have 3 classes on the field, and we have 2 classes on the playground. Okay. Any other questions? I should go into the chat and start looking at all the questions. Okay. Okay, so someone asked if there's a bus stop at any other daycare centers in Linbrook. We've had bus stops at Tiny Tykes in the afternoon because we have children that go there. The JCC used to have an after-school program. They didn't have one this year. They stopped it. And I know Kids Campus had one, but we have no children this year that went to Kids Campus. So if you plan on using any other after-school program, that would be your stop 5 days a week. Can you let me know? Because once the bus, we have to notify the bus company and we need all your bus stops set up. So if you're deciding to use a different facility, if you could email us, that would be wonderful. Let me see what else is here. Okay, if your child goes to the after-school program a few days a week, it is prorated by the amount of time you go to the program. We just need in writing so the teacher knows what days your child's not going to the program and if they're using the bus or if they're coming to pick them up. We do allow them to go, mix. If you're only going to the after-school 3 days a week, the other 2 days a week, you could actually pick your child up at school or they could use the school bus. The bus schedule is sent to you with your teacher assignment. And that is sent to you at towards the end of August. You get a big packet from us at the end of the summer that will have your teacher assignment and your bus stop assignment and lots of information. Your bus stop assignment will be your stop 5 days a week, as I said before, except if you use the after school program or you're doing something a little different. We ask for you to get to the bus stop 10 minutes earlier in the morning and 10 minutes earlier in the afternoon. If God forbid your bus is running late, okay, in the afternoon, I've had it where there's a problem and a bus is stuck at the yard. I send a text message out to all of you to let you know the yellow bus is running late. Please be aware, don't get nervous if you're waiting at the bus stop and it's not showing up. The bus stops are on corners. They're not in front of your home. The buses will not be going to the elementary schools. They're not having that. Because of COVID, we cannot have more children exiting the bus and intermingling with other children in other schools, especially when it comes to contact tracing. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. What is the earliest that a bus could pick up a child? Well, right now, because we have 8 buses, so that's fewer children on a bus. That's a shorter bus run. The buses arrive at school anywhere from 8:20 to 8:25. We come out for them at 8:30. The earliest I would think is maybe 7:45, 7:50, and that's probably for the north end of town. The south end of town, the bus runs are a lot, they're quicker because they're closer to school. I don't know what the protocols are going to be for next year, if I'm going to have 8 buses again, or it's going to be fewer buses. It depends upon what the CDC and the Department of Health wants to do. Let's see what else. Yes, we do a mix of both bus and after school. Okay. I told you about our curriculum. Yep, they could be bused home. Other daycare play facilities. Okay, for lunch, okay, and for snack. My suggestion to everyone is we ask you to have a soft lunch bag, not a hard lunch bag, because as the children are walking in the hallway, they're always banging their lunch bags. Always keep the snack. I could like when the snack is kept separate. This way, they're not eating their lunch at snack time. So you could send them in with whatever they want. We don't warm up any food. We don't have microwaves. We have lots of forks and spoons for the children if they forget them at home. We have children that come in with thermoses, with soup, with pasta, with macaroni and cheese. I have children that come in with chicken nuggets. I have children that come in with sushi. I mean, they come in with everything. Send them in with what they're going to eat. It's very important. If you want to put an ice pack in, if they're having like yogurt or something, that's fine. send them in what you know they're going to eat for lunch. We have 2 lunch periods. We have an 11:15 lunch period and a 12:15 lunch period. We have our classes set up by the colors of the rainbow. So right now I have 12 classes. So I have 5 A classes, I have 5 B classes, and I have 2 remote classes. So every class is a color of the rainbow. So you could be in a red A class or a red B class. You could be in a red yellow class, a yellow A class or a yellow B class. So it depends upon which one you're in. My A group has lunch 11:15 and my B group has lunch at 12:15. And it remains like that through the whole school year. Our 2 remote classes this year are eat lunch, I think, at 12 o'clock. They eat at 12 o'clock. So let's see what else. Can you explain what's included in the screening? Okay, the screening is the Dial 4. It's a state mandated screening, and it's fine motor, gross motor, speech and language. It's the children have to count, they have to recognize objects, they have to write their name. There's a whole lot of little different components. So there's different stations that they'll go to. And for every component, there's a behavior part to it as well to see how they're reacting to it. It's run by the classroom teachers. Teachers make it fun for them. We're going to not include every single part of the dial this year because of COVID. And we've extracted the important parts that we need that will help us determine benefit us in how we're going to place the children in a class. Our classes are mixed. It's, mix them up by different abilities. We mix them up by all 3 home schools. We have Waverly Park, Marion Street, and West End children in all the classes. We like all the children to meet one another because some of them don't see each other until they return back to the high school. Oh, it's a very emotional thing. I have a note on my bulletin board from when I taught kindergarten at the kindergarten center. 2 of my students did not see each other until high school. They met on the first day of high school after they haven't seen each other since kindergarten. They came over to the building, wrote me a note, and I have it on my bulletin board. So it means a lot. We always want them to remain friends, but sometimes it's hard and they lose each other over the years, especially if one is at West End and one is at Marion Street. But it's nice that they're all together in one building and together for 1 year. Okay.
I told you it was magical.
You see? Thank you. Summer playground. If the budget passes normally, immediately they know that we're having summer playground, or even just before the budget passes. Summer playground is housed at one school on the north end of town, either it's West End or North Middle. And this past summer, they had it at South Middle, or sometimes it's at Marion or Waverly. I don't know where it's going to be housed yet on either end, but summer playground is a great place for you to send your child. It's Monday to Friday, 9 to 12. It's not very expensive, and it's a great way for the children to meet other children. When they get off the bus, it's such a good feeling to see, oh, I know so-and-so from summer playground. Oh, I know so-and-so from summer playground. And they feel a lot more secure. This year, as I said, the busing was different the first day. The parents did not get to ride the bus. So the children rode the bus the first day on their own by themselves. And they were great. They were fabulous. I sent home to you with your packet, your teacher assignment, your bus stop assignment. You also get name tags. And we fill the name tag out for you with your child's first and last name and your teacher. And your teacher, if you're in Mrs., let's say, Mrs. Shapiro, green A class. And on that label, we give you several labels, name tags, and we want you to put it on your child the first few days of school because we don't know your children. And when they get off the bus, we want to make sure they're going to the right class. So we're going to ask you in the letter to please make sure the name tags are on the children in the morning. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
There are a few more questions in the chat I see.
Okay.
How does a blended class work?
Okay. The blended class is a class that it's two parts. It's half a day, either the morning or the afternoon spent with the special ed teacher and the special ed TA and an aide, depending upon how much staff is in that classroom. They do small group instruction in that room. And then for the other half a day, they go with the whole team, including the special ed teacher, the aide, the TA, to a separate general ed, or we call it an inclusion class. And then they spend the rest of the day with the entire staff and the rest of the class. So blended means you blend together a small group of students with a special ed teacher, like a mini self-contained class, and then they go to a general ed class with that whole team. So it could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon. It depends upon what curriculum they're going to be learning in the small group versus in the larger group. We've had the blended program for many, many years. This year is the first year that I did not have a cohort that fitted, that would fit into a blended model. But I will have the blended class next year. And I will have 2 inclusion classrooms next year as well. Okay. All right. Let's see. What is the deadline for selecting your bus stop address? Well, automatically, your bus stop will be assigned to you based upon your home address. If for some reason you need to use the after-school program, the after-school program will start sending me a list in July of who registered. So I will know from the after-school program that Mrs. Smith registered Johnny for the after-school program and for how many days. I also like for you to let me know that as well. But if you're using someone else, as soon as possible, the beginning of the summer, July, first week or 2 in July, because the bus company likes to get their bus runs in place. And we want to make sure that on the first day of school, you know what bus your child's on. Okay.
There's another bus question about sending on the bus some days and driving some days.
Yeah, you could do whatever mix you want. We just need to know in the afternoon. To be honest with you, you could drive them every morning. I just need to know how they're getting home. The priority for me and for the classroom teachers is to make sure they're on the right bus and they're getting on the bus. So if you decide you want to pick Johnny up as a walker, we need that letter in writing for the morning. But if you decide 2 days a week is going to be a walker every day, every Monday and Wednesday for the whole school year, your child's going to be a walker, you have to put that in writing. So we know on Monday and Wednesdays to never send your child on a school bus. Everything needs to be in writing for us. We give everyone a bus stop assignment because you may say in September, oh, I don't want to use the bus. Why do I need the bus? I don't need the bus. And then come November, your child could be begging you to go on the bus. So we want to make sure that we have the bus set up for you.
I received a question about recess. The parent wants to know what it looks like if there's bad weather.
Okay, if it's bad weather, it's indoor recess. If it's bad weather, it's indoor recess. With pre-COVID, the children would eat and play in the gym, and then we swap off. Children would, go back and forth. We'd have some classes play in the gym, some children eat, vice versa. Now that it's COVID, we don't have a gym for the children to do any activities. So the children will watch a movie. We do a lot of Go Noodle, where we have the children stand up behind their seats. They're doing exercises with Gold Noodle. They're doing dancing with Gold Noodle. So that's what our indoor recess looks like. That's why we like to get them outside as much as possible. And we even go for walks, like when there was all that snow on the ground, we were able to have the perimeter of the outside of the field cleared off. We would have them put their coats on and we would walk around just to get them outside and get fresh air. Okay, anything else?
There's another question about when the summer playground information is coming out.
I normally hear summer playground information comes out around May, the beginning of May. Keep looking on the Linbrook website. I know that they had everything done remotely last year when it came to registration, and they're most likely they're going to have the same this year, where they'll have it, where you could probably fill out your paperwork online and drop it off at administration. Are the classes going to be made up a bit more evenly with students from each homeschool in their class? Yes, because Waverly is the smallest school, there's fewer Waverly children in a classroom. Marion Street and West End, there's more children, so there's a heavier load of Marion Street and West End in a class. But I've had it maybe a few years where I didn't have enough Waverly to put into every class, so maybe one class wouldn't have Waverly children. But we really try hard to make sure there's representation of all three schools in each classroom. Is upsetting to a child when a kindergarten class is made up of students who are mostly not in their home school? No, they make friends. They love to make friends. They make friends with everyone. It's very important. You know, they'll establish friendships. They'll hopefully have more play dates over the next few months. Things will get better. You know, we've had it with remote children coming into the kindergarten center and, you know, just establishing friendships over like within 24 hours. They just, you know, they've been remote for so long, then all of a sudden they're coming into a classroom to children they've never known before. And, you know, they're young. It's very easy for them to make friends. And also our social worker, she does a wonderful activity with the children in June. It's a getting to know you activity where she sets up all three elementary schools, Marion Street, West End, and Waverly. And since, you know, there are children in other classrooms that don't know each other from the same homeschool, she does getting to know you activities with the children. They play a parachute game. They play you know, this is what I like to do. This is my favorite food. They ask each other questions. So it's a fun activity for them to get to know other children that are going to their home school. So even though they may not be in their class, they may not have met each other. But what's amazing is on the bus, they learn, they set up friends, they make friends, they interact with one another. On the playground, they're interacting with other children from other classes because we mix everyone up. So we may have the red, yellow, and green class on the playground and the blue and purple class on the field, vice versa, whatever. So they're interacting with each other, children from other classes, so it's fun for them. Yes, the children are allowed to go to summer playground. Kindergarten is the first year for them. I think the summer playground, I don't know if they'll have paper information, any flyers in paper this year. It may just be online. I know the district is really trying to curtail any type of paper distribution going on in the district. So most likely you would find out online on the Linbrook website. And it might be, I know every Friday for my new families, you can start going on the Linbrook website. On Fridays, Dr. Burak will post a newsletter. And the newsletter gives updates on what's going on in the district. So it's important. Maybe you could start reading the news now and things will start, you'll be becoming familiar with what's going on in the district. And I know tonight right now, there's a board meeting that has just begun. So, okay. Any other questions? All right, be on the lookout. You're going to get your letter next week. Hopefully Friday or Monday, I'm going to mail everything out for the screening. Your 2 zip slip forms that are going to be included in the envelope, please bring those filled out the morning of your appointment. It will take your child about 1 hour to complete the screening. It's being conducted by the classroom teachers in our field, and let's hope for good weather so we could keep everything going those days. If for some reason we have to cancel the appointments, we'll call you and let you know. Any other questions, feel free to call me or email me. I'm going to put my email in the chat for you so you can have it. All right. And I'd be more than happy to respond to your email. Okay? Anything else? We're good? I can't put 2 hands up. I had surgery over break, so my right arm is in a sling, so I only can use my left thumb. So thank you all for joining us, and I look forward to seeing everyone over our screening process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank
Bye.
you. Good night, everyone.